And hello, one and all, and welcome to episode 3 of the Giza Wrestling Report. In this edition, we are going to be breaking down the top news items from the week in the pro wrestling industry for the week of September 18th to September 25th. And with me today, I have a special guest. I had him on for my Raw review last week, brought him back again. BSP Wrestling, good friend Gene. Thank you for joining me for this third installment of the Giza Wrestling Report.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad to be here once again. We had a great review on Monday, and I enjoyed talking about wrestling with you, so I'm back again.
Yes, we did. And thank you to all who tuned into that Raw review. It's currently almost at 270 views, so that really spiked in viewership. And I want to say thank you for plugging the review on your various social media channels. Like I said, I always enjoy the support, and I enjoy supporting your channel and the channel of other YouTubers out there, because that's what the IWC is all about, and we need to see more of that in this community. So just wanted to throw that out there. So,
yeah, no problem.
With all of that out of the way, we got a myriad of topics here. And as you know, of course, I always include the links down in the description box. We have a total of 13 topics here. We're going to go in order as you see below. All of these topics, keep in mind, I got these from WrestleZone.com. So first want to give credit to them for all of these stories. And then at the end of the show, instead of doing our Raw and SmackDown talking points, we're just going to do a preview, seeing as how tonight is Raw. We're going to do a Raw preview. And so, yeah, that is pretty much the format of today's show, folks. So without further ado, let's get into topic number one. This was the one of the bigger stories coming out of WWE Clash of Champions last night. Seth Rollins, it said he was definitely hurt last night at Clash of Champions. Once he returned backstage following his match with KO, he was treated, and as of now, he doesn't have there weren't any further updates. One report was that he was having trouble breathing, which could indicate some kind of rib injury. Let's start here. I didn't really notice there to be any problems with Seth. I would have to go back and watch the match, because at this point in the show, I was kind of, my eyes were kind of shutting, and the match itself was kind of So
Yeah.
I didn't catch the part where he got hurt. I don't know. Did you notice this? Because I certainly didn't.
I definitely did not catch him being hurt. I thought it was just great salesmanship by him,
Yes.
selling everything that were going on. But I didn't hear about any injury reports until now. So I hope he's okay, though. If he really is hurt, that would be bad.
Sure. It says it would indicate some kind of rib injury. That's all I was able to really find up until this point. We'll obviously figure out more going into the day and obviously tonight on Raw, but I don't think it would be too serious, seeing as how they obviously finished the match. And like I said, I didn't notice. You really didn't notice. And if it's just a rib injury, that's not really too bad. That could, heal up in due time, and, maybe just limit his role on Raw to just some in-ring, promo segments or whatnot. And then I think he'll be okay. I'm not really too concerned at this point, with what happened with Seth Rollins. I really was worried when he came off the top rope and landed on his knee. I don't know if you remember that part of the match. I was like, oh God, please don't injure that knee again. That it scares me every time he does something high risk, because he had surgically reconstructive knee surgery, major knee surgery, and especially how about the cage? Last week on Raw, that scared me as well. It's like, you hope he doesn't re-injure that knee.
Yeah, he's confident in that knee, I guess. So I don't know why he's doing crazy things, though, because he could re-injure it easily.
You're back to square one. It could potentially end his career.
That'd be bad.
You have to consider. Oh, it'd be a huge loss. So, anything else you have to say about Rollins getting banged up here?
No, I enjoyed the match for what it was. I hope he's not injured, seriously. If he's, a little tweaked, then maybe he'll heal up a little bit sooner than later. But I don't know.
We'll have to see. So, continuing the news on the injury front, here's another further update from Emma. And apparently, this is what she posted on Twitter, that she was officially cleared for a return 6 weeks ago. And here's what she said on Twitter. 6 weeks ago, I was cleared. Each week, I wait. The more frustrated I get, I feel sorry for the person who's going to see it's all about me. So this is great news right here. Emma has officially been cleared. The kind of frustrating thing, though, is it was 6 weeks ago, and I feel like they could really use her on Raw. So I'm hoping soon we see her debut. It has to be on Raw. I mean, that's my assumption here, because with Dana Brooke and just the way that they're going about with the Charlotte and the mistreatment of Dana, wouldn't it make sense for eventually maybe a Charlotte-Emma feud down the line? Maybe that's what they're waiting for. What are your thoughts on Emma's statements here?
Oh man! First of all, I'm glad that she's been cleared to come back. So I'm guessing they're waiting for the right opportunity
Sure.
to bring her back, and maybe this is just part of the storyline. She said she feels sorry for whoever has to feel that it's her time. So
Mhm.
maybe the fact that she sees her friend Dana, getting abused by Charlotte because Dana isn't really she's standing up for herself, but not really. So
Sure.
maybe they'll bring Emma back to kind of remove her from that situation because she knows her potential and she doesn't really like Charlotte. Charlotte's the champion. Who knows? Maybe they could start something there. And maybe she'll take out her wrath on Charlotte the way they took it out on Becky Lynch when Dana was first brought up. I believe what was it, draft night, or maybe it was the week after the draft. I believe they brought up Dana Brooke with Emma. I believe
Uh,
so.
hmm.
I'm
When
not
did
too sure on that.
maybe it was back in? Well, when did Emma get hurt? It was before
I,
that, obviously. I can't remember the timeline. Was it in May
I think
or
yeah, I
maybe
think it was
April?
around April
May
or
or
May.
April? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like the pairing of Dana and Emma more than Dana and Charlotte. I felt like that was obviously their plan, and I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do with them. So, my scenario. If you saw my tweets last night, what I want to see happen with the women heading forward, I want to see Charlotte versus Sasha main event, the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and put them inside the Hell in a Cell. So I think that's where Sasha will finally win the title. And maybe from there you transition Sasha. Here's some fantasy booking, which I always like to do from time to time. What do you think about Sasha versus Paige for the title? And then Charlotte versus Emma, and then maybe Bailey versus. You can do some. There's some feuds. I see the Raw can have depth. Just book these women in meaningful storylines and feuds that just make sense. I mean, what do you think about those ideas that I'm just kind of throwing out there?
That kind of got my mind rolling a little bit because incorporating Emma, maybe you have, like you said, put Sasha and Charlotte inside the Hell in a Cell. That'll be great.
Yes. Yes.
Put them inside of there, let them go at it. But somehow, some way, Dana finds a way to screw up Charlotte again. But this time she
Sure.
loses the title. Charlotte completely snaps. She has the cage to her advantage. She goes off on Dana, absolutely destroys her. And then you have Emma come out. If you're going to have Emma be a face, have her come in, get that face, that nice little reaction from the crowd.
Mm-hmm. And there you go.
Potential feuds too.
Like I said, so we'll see what they do. And like I said, kind of segueing here into Hell in a Cell. I mean, I think that would. I hate when they do the Cell pay-per-view because I just feel like I hate like how it's October, so it must be Hell in a Cell time. And it just took me looking at all the feuds currently going on the roster. I just feel like Sasha versus Charlotte inside the Cell would be the perfect way to blow off the feud because I feel like it's been going on for a while now, and it would just to me make sense. There's not really any other feuds that I could see that deserve to be in Hell in a Cell. I mean, unless I'm missing something on the Raw brand that I can think of, that should be in the Cell. The Cell should only be for like blowing off a really heated feud. And I feel like in the next couple of weeks, they could really build the animosity, the heat, the tension between Sasha and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And you dominate that in the Cell.
I definitely agree there. And if they're fighting for ratings with SmackDown, why not? Oh, we have women inside of Hell in a Cell. Let's see you guys beat that.
In the main event, nonetheless.
Right.
Do it. What do you have to lose at this point? Your ratings are in the toilet. It's just like, come on, let's do something different on Raw. It would be nice.
Yeah, change of pace, different.
And it would get me to invest because I want to see Sasha and Charlotte go one-on-one one more time because you noticed at Clash, Charlotte pinned Bailey. She did not pin Sasha, so there's already I'm looking at it, how you could book it.
Yeah, I mentioned that as well as in my review that Bailey was the one to take the pinfall. So Charlotte's Sasha's going to come out there like, hey, I didn't lose technically. Bailey lost, so get her out of here. Forget her. It's about me and you now.
Exactly. It's simple. Just keep it simple and we'll be invested. Just don't make it all convoluted and corny comedy and all this crap that we've been seeing on Raw lately. Sorry if I sound sour. It's just I'm really sour on the Raw brand right now. It's tough to find it interesting with this awful writing.
Yeah, agreed.
So I don't blame the wrestlers. It is always comes back to two people, the creative team and Vince McMahon, because without them, nothing would get approved on this show. Vince is the final say-so. So Vince, you get the blame. There you go.
It is. That's how it works.
So anything else you have to say about Emma's injury update?
Nothing else. I hope she comes back soon. I hope they incorporate her in a meaningful feud and don't just put her up against like Alicia Fox on
Sure.
Superstars or something.
Ugh.
Don't do that.
No.
Make her important. She's a great talent who's reinvented her character, and she's very, very valuable to the Raw brand if
Yes,
she comes
she
back
can
there.
be. Sure. All right. So let's transition into our next topic, our third topic here. It's an update on John Cena's next WWE hiatus. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted a little over a month ago that John Cena would be taking a sabbatical from WWE that will stretch several months. Currently, Cena's last scheduled date before he takes his next hiatus is October 11th for the SmackDown Live in San Jose. He is also scheduled to appear at Survivor Series on the 20th of November, but he is not advertised for any other shows until late December. Cena is currently, as you know, scheduled to face Ambrose and Styles at No Mercy on October 9th. So he's going to be filming his next season of American Grit. So we are slowly, I feel, here seeing Cena transition into the part-timer. I never thought I'd see it happen, but it's just, because I knew eventually it would, but it's just like kind of surreal to see it taking place right in front of our eyes here. What are your thoughts on Cena kind of transitioning into the mainstream realm of movies, TV, and whatnot?
It's bittersweet for me, okay? Because I've been a Cena fan since probably around 2003. So I've been around. I've seen him win all the championships. I'm a big Cena fan, but at the same time, I understand that these opportunities that he's going and doing outside of the WWE is going to bring more eyes on the product as well.
Sure.
I think it's the same thing The Rock tried to do, but I think he was just completely burnt out.
Yeah, he was.
And so I don't know, man. It's good that he gets all these opportunities, the movies, the TV shows, and gets to rest up, because that would mean that he's probably not going to retire anytime soon. He's going to heal up, do his nice shows and stuff. He'll stay healthy. He'll stay in the gym. That man is always in the gym. And he'll come back and he'll have a bunch of great more feuds.
Sure. Definitely. I think it's good for his, like you said, his health. I think everybody, whatever line of work you're in, you need to take a break. And I feel like if we saw that more in WWE with guys getting, a couple months off, maybe they wouldn't get burned out like CM Punk. Or, I felt Del Rio felt that way. It was burned out, and then you eventually just want to leave. And if you give them the necessary time off, maybe they would have stayed in the long run. You look at that way.
Yep.
Because we're on the road 300 nights a year, the wear and tear, the bumps in the ring, eventually it just causes you to, break down and you're like, I'm done. I've had enough. I respect Cena more so in these last 2 years now than I really have ever. I used to be a stingent Cena hater. Just his character, not what he does outside the ring. I have the massive amount of respect for the Make-A-Wish and all of the great charitable work that man does. So props to him on that. But I'm happy to see that he's finally, he put Dean Ambrose over in the match. He was lost clean last week on SmackDown. AJ beat him. So I'm happy to see that we're seeing more of that. That was my main gripe with Cena all these years. He would be fed talents like a Bray Wyatt, or, I felt Ryback was damaged in his feud, or Wade Barrett with the Nexus. Clearly, that was, I don't even want to get started on that issue.
That was, oh, man.
Yeah, that was awful. And Cena even admitted afterwards, it's like, I probably should have put those guys over.
Probably.
So those instances, and the Wyatt, like I said, the Wyatt family recently. But I'm happy with what he did with AJ. I loved his stuff with the United States Championship match, Open Challenge. That was great stuff. Yes, I'm a bit more of a Cena fan, at this point now than I have been in the past couple of years. So if he's going to be taking time off, more power to him. I definitely see him making the transition. Maybe not to the level that The Rock, obviously, because The Rock's up here. I don't think anybody can touch him. But I think Cena could make a good name for himself in the movies and whatnot after his career with wrestling.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there.
Because he's funny. Have when he is off their script and on like Fallon and the Late Show, he is a very funny guy.
Yeah, I found that out a while ago. He's very funny, and it translates over to his WWE character persona. How he, he'll incorporate certain things that maybe aren't on script, but he's hilarious.
Oh my God. I'm like, why couldn't we get more of this guy,
Oh, the scripts he did on Fallon were just, oh my gosh, incredible.
So, Props to Cena, and like I said, we'll probably see him return after. Well, he's going to be at Survivor Series, but I don't know how that's going to be interesting, because it says his last SmackDown apparently is the 11th, but maybe he'll be a surprise return at Survivor Series and make a one-off, and then not return until January. That's how I think that would play out.
As long as he's at SmackDown tomorrow is all I care about, because I'll be there.
Oh, nice. Where's SmackDown tomorrow?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, nice. I think Raw's in Cincinnati.
Yes, Raw's in Cincinnati tonight, and then
cool.
SmackDown will be here tomorrow.
Nice. I would kill to go to. I don't remember the last time SmackDown was ever in Pittsburgh. Usually, I didn't care about going to SmackDown because it was all about Raw. It was all about the flagship. But now, based on how well SmackDown's doing, I want to go to a SmackDown taping. I can't remember the last time I ever said that. Probably it would have been.
Never been to SmackDown.
I've never, ever, ever been to a SmackDown taping. So
I found out at Fastlane actually that they were going to be here, and I was just like, I have to go. I've never been. And then I found out about the brand split. I'm like, yes, I need to go.
Yes, just it's a consistently good show, and props to them. So, like I said, anything else you want to add about Cena's next hiatus before we move on to the next news item?
Oh, no, I can only see positive things coming out of it for him and the company. So we'll see.
Sure. All right, let's get into this latest WWE's reported bid to buy TNA Wrestling. Here's an update. According to F4W Online, it's reporting that they are not sure who floated the rumor to the New York Post that WWE and Sinclair Broadcasting were bidding to buy TNA. There is no truth to either company trying to put in a bid on TNA at this time. According to Dave Meltzer, there is a real offer from WWE, but it is being described as being an offer that only exists if no other parties purchase the company. That offer is also not recent, and Meltzer notes that WWE is only interested in the tape library in order to push stars like a Joe or a Styles. At this point, Billy Corgan has already put enough money into TNA to get 30% of TNA, and WWE is not willing to par to get the whole package. The report continues here. In regards to the potential sale of TNA, Meltzer says that Corgan and a second party are interested. There are apparently several non-disclosure agreements in regards to the second party, and that second party is not whoever this person's name is. I can't pronounce it. So it looks like Corgan is said to be looking to have the deal done so that he owns TNA in time for Bound for Glory on October 2nd. So to me, it seems like, as I stated several weeks ago when I heard this first report, it doesn't seem like WWE is going to buy TNA. I just didn't see that happening, especially reading what we just found out here. It looks like Billy Corgan will be able to put together what needs to happen in order to purchase TNA. I just wanted to throw this in there. Not that I'm I haven't watched TNA in probably, 3 years now, 4 years, but it's just interesting to see what's going on here. Gene, what are your thoughts on TNA's potential sale to Billy?
If Billy is invested in the TNA, as I believe he is, he will not let Vince McMahon touch it. Because if Vince McMahon touches TNA, it will become WCW. He will extract the stars that he wants in the WWE, and then everybody else is gone. They'll probably try to do another invasion angle. It'll fail miserably again, and then that'll be it. He'll have the stars he wants, and TNA will be non-existent like WCW is. The only thing I watch from TNA now, I watch it on YouTube. It's the Hardys, because Broken Matt Hardy, Brother Nero, all of that is great.
Yeah, it's different. It works. It's something you haven't seen before, and I feel if they would do more different stuff, they could not be WWE light. Like, that's how I just felt they eventually ended up going. With Bischoff, Hogan, I was kind of excited for that, and then that just seemed to fall apart.
Yeah, it fell apart really fast. And they let Matt Hardy be completely creative with his character.
Exactly.
So if they did something like that in WWE, like, say, a Bray Wyatt, he won't be exactly like Matt Hardy, but he'll be his own character. They don't let him do what he wants to do.
There's so much wasted potential in Bray. I see it,
Yeah.
Just let him go and do, I don't know, something different. I don't know. It's just, instead of just cutting promos and losing some more. Poor Bray.
And then bring back the Wyatt family, let them split up again, bring them back again. Come on, that doesn't work.
What is your but sticking to the story here, we'll see what ends up happening. Obviously, there's going to be news breaking soon. It says Corgan looks to have the deal done in time for Bound for Glory, TNA's biggest pay-per-view of the year. So good. I hope he gets it, because, like I said, I would hate to see guys lose the. I think it's good for guys like a Sandow to go there, or Cody Rhodes, who is going there. It allows them to have another platform. It allows guys to work somewhere else, and the more competition, the better. I really think at this point you need to just drop TNA, the name, and rebrand it, because I just feel like that would help them, maybe get some more buzz around the product. Because those initials, I mean, it's just like you hear TNA and it kind of just like it's just
leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it does. So I feel like if you positively rebrand the company and go in a different direction and continue to do different things, you could eventually grow. Because they lost their audience once they left Spike, and it just seems like they're only they're not really growing. They're kind of just stagnating. So that's just my 2 cents on TNA. Like I said,
don't let
anything
Vince
else?
touch
it. Anything else you want to add about this report?
Oh no, that's all. Just don't let Vince touch it, man.
Yes, please. So,
for their own sake.
Yes. So let's move on here to a health update. I wanted to throw this in there. One of the all-time great legends, Terry Funk. If you've heard, last week in Philadelphia, apparently Terry Funk, despite doctor's orders, this report says, he should have been restricted to his home. He did appear at Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore this past Saturday night in Philadelphia. He did have to leave the venue early due to serious health issues that the legend is currently battling. According to F4W Online, this is good news. Funk is already doing better and is back at home in Amarillo, Texas. He's scheduled to meet with his doctors next week to get clearance to leave his home to do other activities. Dave Meltzer also noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Funk had painful hernia surgery last Monday. Despite the intense pain and doctor's orders not to leave his home, he took a 4 a.m. flight from Texas to New York Friday night to appear at Dreamer's House of Hardcore. In total, there was a period of time that Funk was awake for 24 hours straight until he managed to fall asleep around 4 a.m. the next day after driving into Philadelphia. Funk worked the weekend because he did not want to miss a booking for Dreamer. He then left the venue a minute after doing an in-ring promo for the live crowd. And this man, he is just, will he ever stop? Terry Funk is one of the all-time greats. I still can't believe he's going at his age. He's got to be up there at least, into his 70s? He's got to be in his 70s. I mean, this man is truly one of the kings of hardcore. His legendary battles with Mick Foley back in the day, with Ric Flair, and it would just be a shame to see, him just not be around anymore. And I heard this health scare, and I was like, uh-oh, this doesn't sound good. So it's good to hear that he's doing better and flow back home to Amarillo, Texas. But this man, he is a tough son of a bitch. I mean, he got the hernia surgery and then took a 4 a.m. flight from Texas to New York. I mean, it's like, man, it seems like nothing can keep this man down.
Yeah, he's insane. I think he's 72, actually.
72. Okay, he's up there. Wow.
He's been doing this for over 50 years, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens to this man's body. He just wants to keep going and going and going. Oh,
definitely
insane, man. This guy is crazy.
Yes, I mean, there were this. Wow.
Yeah, all the crazy hardcore matches and stuff he's had, and he just wants to go more. Like, oh my goodness.
See, I think the thing is, and I know people like this, when you do something for so long, eventually your body just kind of, accepts it. And then I think if he would slow down, if he would just stop wrestling, maybe that could lead to his demise. It's like his body wouldn't know what to do, and then he would just, kind of deteriorate. He just has to keep going. That's what his body expects from him. At least that's how I'm kind of seeing as how, he continues to keep wrestling at his age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely. If you've been doing it for so long, as you said, your body's accustomed to it.
Sure. So it's good to hear that he's doing better, and just want to keep him in our thoughts and prayers, and just pray for a full and speedy recovery to Terry Funk. So that's what we have on that front. Let's move on to the next report here. Here's some good injury news update. Apparently, according to Pro Wrestling Sheet, injured WWE star Luke Harper has officially been cleared to return to the ring. The Wyatt family member was recently given the green light by WWE doctors to return. But it's unclear which brand he will appear on at this point, since he went undrafted in July. As we all know, he has been out of action since March, since dislocating his patella and tearing his MPFL ligament. Gene, your thoughts on this? I think it's positive, and I hope he goes to SmackDown. That's all I have to say.
I agree with you there with the SmackDown thing, and I'm glad he's back because he got injured right before WrestleMania, and I felt so bad for him because they had a lot of momentum going into the pay-per-view, and just to lose him at that time to such a freak injury that I don't even think he got touched when he got hurt.
I think it was when he dived out of the. It was a dark match in Philly. It was the Raw.
Yeah.
It was March 21st. He dived out of the ropes, and that's what caused it.
Oh, see that dang on rope dive.
Again, here we go. People. Thank you for bringing that up. Stop doing these dangerous. There's a reason it's called I don't even think it looks that good. It kind of looks kind of Just please stop doing that. Oh man. So, but yeah, this is a positive. Like I said, you want to see the Wyatt fan. I want to see him. Like I said, help Bray. Here's the logical way I think you could reintroduce him. What do you think about it? No mercy. Maybe hold him off till then. Have him come out and help Bray Wyatt finally win a damn pay-per-view match. It would seem like forever. God's green earth. Is it asking too much? Sorry.
That would be great. I love your impression too, by the way. That's great.
Channel my inner Dwayne The Rock Johnson there. Have to. Love Rock. Love you, Rock. So, but anyways... Yeah, I mean, I just think it would make sense. And plus, it gives Bray the win that he desperately, desperately needs. He
needs one badly. If you're going to put him on SmackDown, you need to put him with Bray. Reform the Wyatt family. Just do that. That'll be fine. Whatever. If you're going to fully do it, just fully do it. Don't half do it. Have just Bray and Eric Rowan, and then Luke Harper's off to the side. Like, hey, guys, I'm here too. Just have him in there. Have him helping Bray win matches because Bray needs to win.
Oh, yeah.
He's just losing these crazy Why did he lose to Dolph Ziggler?
Yep. I remember he was supposed to, we thought he'd interfere. He wasn't at SummerSlam. He didn't compete at WrestleMania. I mean, this has been a bad year for Bray Wyatt. Awful.
Yeah. They were pretty much buried by The Rock at WrestleMania, and John Cena came out, and that didn't really help them out.
Nope.
And ever since Dolph Ziggler beat him on SmackDown, he hasn't won a match since. So how does that make Bray look legitimate? You lost to a guy who went on to lose his next 6 to 7 matches straight.
Yeah. The one problem I have with SmackDown is the booking of Bray Wyatt, but I know he can succeed in a brand split. I know he can. Just give him the freaking opportunity.
Yeah, he can succeed. Just let this man be great, man.
Please. Please. I'll say it one more time. Please.
I'll bring that up a little bit in our SmackDown preview for the week, but I got some plans for Bray.
Sure. Anything else you want to say about Luke Harper coming back?
Oh, no, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's healthy, and he needs to be in the Wyatt family.
All right. So, folks, this is the part of the show where we talk ratings news. And let's get into these god-awful numbers for the flagship Monday Night Raw. As you all know, boy, these ratings continue to sink like the Titanic. And here's how we're going to break this down. According to ShowBuzzDaily.com, this past week's edition of Raw averaged, look at this beautiful number, 2.684 million, which is down. It was only down a little from 2.69 million. Here's how the viewerly average broke down for all 3 hours. First hour, 2.734 million. Second hour, 2.686 million. Final hour, 2.633. This week's Raw viewership is the lowest audience for a non-holiday episode of the show since the 90s. And Raw this week narrowly beat the 2.658 million viewers who tuned in for this year's 4th of July episode.
Ouch.
I mean, I understand people are watching on DVR and there's all these other, excuses about, viewing habits have changed and whatnot. But, okay, I understand that. But remember what the ratings were a month ago? I believe it was around 3.3, 3.4.
Yeah. They've dropped below 3 million. That's so not good.
What explains that? That is almost a million in decline. So obviously those people haven't been they stop watching on their TVs and then switch. No, I just think the football's back. We're just gonna stop watching. And can you blame
the SummerSlam too?
Yeah,
that didn't help. One of your biggest pay-per-views, and you didn't build to it correctly.
Sure. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I can't excuse that. That can't be like that's what I point to. The drop from last month to this month. That doesn't have to do with DVRs and all the change viewing habits. No, those people just are done. They tuned out.
Yeah.
and it's they're going to get tonight. It's going to be crushed.
Man,
it's going to be a massacre. You want to do predictions? That should be a new series. Let's predict the Raw ratings for tonight.
Will they go below 2.5? Is it possible? Yes. It's very possible.
Oh, I'm not going to say they're going to go below 2 million, but I definitely think it will be the lowest Raw of the year. I'm throwing it out there right now. You have Monday Night Football and the debates.
Ooh, the debates are tonight.
Which I really don't care about. So I'm still probably going to watch Raw, but I'll probably flip during commercial to see the carnage.
They're going to have to do something crazy.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't you think if these ratings are in the tank, you know what they should do? We're going back to 2 hours tonight.
I'll be like, oh my God, yes.
What?
2 hours Raw?
Oh my, no, they won't do it though, because they're stupid idiots.
That's going on the list. That's going on the list.
I wish Jericho would just come out. I mean, everything he said in 1999 is true. Ratings are in the toilet. The television product is, toiling. Pay-per-view buys down.
Right.
Oh, man. It's just like, just look at these numbers. It's pathetic. I'm telling you. If you go back to is it? It's Raw as snore. I mean, seriously.
Raw as snore.
That's what it does. I literally, GTS, I go to sleep during that 3rd and 5. It's tough. Like, I'm trying to fight it. I'm trying to fight not going to sleep. I'm like, I can do this. I can finish an episode of Raw. It's like a challenge. It's like, I did it. I finished it.
Yes, it's over. Finally. Oh, okay, let's do a review. Yes, I'm woke.
Here's the problem with trying to get new fans to watch this show. If you're like, hey, you want to watch Raw tonight? Oh, okay. How long is it? 3 hours. Nah, I'm good. That's too long. See, it just
Who's the top guys again? Oh, yeah, I don't know those guys. What happened to Stone Cold? Yep. Oh, man.
It's like if
you can't appeal to the casuals anymore.
I wonder how, I keep saying it. Do you think the ratings will go low enough that will finally be the catalyst for the return to 2 hours?
It's going to have to be. Their ratings are going to drop to the point where they have to do something drastic. Like, they're going to have to sign Undertaker, have a Hell in a Cell match on Raw, and he's going to have to throw Mick Foley off the top. It's just going to have to get to that point.
Oh,
because
God.
Nothing they're doing is working right now.
It's disjointed. It's on. There's no flow. There's no. It's at least SmackDown. The direction. No Mercy, and we're looking forward to No Mercy. It's like they announced Hell in a Cell. I'm like, okay, I can get interested in it. There are things that they can do, but I just don't see them doing it.
Yeah, I kind of just see a repeat of the same card we just seen to a certain point. But if they do Sasha versus Charlotte, that'll be fine.
There's interest. I want to see that. And do it in the cell. You could build to that nicely. Give them the main event. All right, that would certainly shake things up. It's time to shake things up. I mean, like I said, I'll keep going back to it. That July 25th episode of Raw that I went to was the best Raw that I've ever been to. And it proved to me that 3 hours, okay, if they do it like that, I'm okay with the show being 3 hours. But obviously they're not going to do that. So why should the show continue to be 3 hours if they're just going to waste my time?
Yep. Completely agree there. They can show the potential for good shows, and then they just squander it, and then it's just bad again.
So they're obviously, what are they not? They're not trying.
Nope.
And that's what pisses me off, because they can try. They have the talent. They have tremendous talent, and it's not their fault. It all goes back to lazy, god-awful creative. So thanks, Vince. Thank you.
Thank you for being lazy.
Yes. So let's also talk about, this was disappointing, SmackDown Live ratings this week. They were down as well, and I thought it was a tremendous effort from the Blue Brand this week. Here's the ratings for SmackDown this week. 2.292 million, which is down from 2.658 million viewers last week. This was the lowest. The final rating for this week's show was a 1.70, which is down from a 1.86 last week. This was the second lowest rated show since SmackDown moved to a live time slot on Tuesday nights. Like I said, I was surprised to see the rating go down this much.
Me too.
Maybe it was due to, new show, the night, I know the networks, isn't this the time where the new shows are on, season returns, whatnot, on all the networks?
Yeah, those fall shows coming back.
So I'm sure that took a chunk out of it. Let's hope that the ratings rebound this week for SmackDown, because I really want to see them beat Raw. I was really hoping this would have been the week that they beat Raw in the ratings.
Ooh, it's going to be bad in October when Supernatural comes back, because I believe it comes on a Tuesday.
Okay.
And right around the same time slot as SmackDown. So, oh, man, this is not good. And I think SmackDown's great.
Sure, I wish more people would tune in to watch it. And here's a concern. Let me throw this out at you. Do you think if SmackDown's ratings wouldn't improve, what if the USA Network could fuck with this whole thing? What if they're like, oh, we're going to move it back to Thursdays?
If they keep it live, it'll be fine.
Well, I don't think that, because that would it couldn't air live. That would be the problem. I mean, what happens if USA? I mean, they could do that. It's their their
network.
I mean, imagine if something like that happens. I mean, God,
dang, that'd be a hit.
Yeah, it would. I don't know what WWE would do. I mean, that's a concern, because the theory was you move it to Tuesdays, you make it live, the ratings would increase. So my concern is if the ratings don't show increase, the USA might decide to move it to a different night. And WWE can't go live on any other night just due to their taping schedule. It's just always been Monday, Tuesday. That's how it is.
Yep.
So that's in the back of my mind. I don't want to see that happen, because I like SmackDown on Tuesdays now. I really do.
I think, you know what I think it is? Maybe it's not the fact of how it is now. I believe because so many people stopped watching SmackDown literally years ago, like me.
Yes.
And didn't come back to it even after the draft, because they're probably like, well, it's just SmackDown. Who cares?
Sure.
I was one of those people. I stopped watching SmackDown. I'm just like, I don't even care what happens. It doesn't even matter anymore.
We have 3 hours of Raw. That's enough.
The brand extension, though, it helped me get back into SmackDown, and especially doing the reviews and just my love for wrestling. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a chance. And I've been nothing but impressed by how they present it, how the stage is, how commentary flows together.
Love it.
And how it's only 2 hours. So it's not like I got to sit through 3 hours of gruelingness.
It's refreshing.
Yes.
I never thought I'd say that, but it's refreshing to watch a 2-hour wrestling show.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll see. Like I said, hopefully this week. Well, we have a title match this week, so I am so effing excited for that. SmackDown already beat Raw this week, as I said in my tweet that got on the Talking Smack. It already won. I'm already giving it SmackDown. I'm so excited for tomorrow night. I wish I could say the same for the flagship. It's like, you know what? The flagship is the ship is sinking. Okay, Steph, the flag's about to go underwater. So whatever, everything's fine.
About to capture the flag too.
Sure. Why not? I mean, at this point, SmackDown is the A show. So speaking of, let's transition. Now that this is an interesting article about SmackDown. How hands-on is Vince McMahon with the current WWE SmackDown product? And I found this interesting. There has been some speculation lately that following the brand split, Vince has been less hands-on with SmackDown product as of late and is more hands-on with Raw. According to a tweet by Dave Meltzer, the above is not the case. It appears that Vince McMahon is just as hands-on with SmackDown as he is with Raw following the brand split this summer. Okay, so then Ryan Ward definitely has to make a difference with the way that, SmackDown is being booked compared to Raw. Because I don't know who's in charge of the Raw writing team, but I would assume that's the major difference. If Vince is, that's what it says. Vince is, hands-on with both shows. So, yeah. What do you think about this?
I read a report a while ago that Triple H actually brought a guy, I think it was the head writer of NXT, up to SmackDown. Around the time of yeah, that's him, right? Ryan Ward. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking they'll let him kind of have a little bit more creative freedom than they have with the writers and stuff for Raw. I think Vince is hands-on with both. How does Meltzer come up with this stuff, man? Who's telling him this? That's true. I have beef with him. I have heat with Dave Meltzer. How does he get all this information? But so, I don't know. With Ward coming up from NXT, I think it definitely helps out SmackDown because he knows the potential talents in people. So he lets have that range, except Bray Wyatt. But I think it's great for SmackDown, but just terrible for Raw because it seems like Vince has Raw locked up. Raw has to be like this, and it won't change. It's Raw.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? Life sucks, and then you die. That's his mentality. You don't like it? I don't give a shit. I got your 9.99. That's my Vince McMahon impersonation. Thank you very much.
That's exactly how it is.
It's true. Hey, you know what? Yeah, Raw. You know what Raw needs? Raw needs less writers because the stupid idiots they got writing now. Less is always more. How about 2 or 3? I think that worked in the Attitude Era. Just saying.
Yeah, those writers are going
too many
on the
cooks
list.
in the damn kitchen. Sorry to vent there, but it frustrates me. They have 30 freaking writers, and this is the crap they come up with.
It doesn't make any sense.
Sorry about that. Usually I'm going to be positive. Power of positivity today.
POP.
Yes. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say about this article? Like I said, I just found it interesting. That's why I wanted to throw it in there.
Yeah, it was very interesting, but I don't know. It's definitely strange how things are running in WWE right now.
Sure, very much so. So, here's an interesting article. It's about Summer Rae. As you all know, we haven't really seen her that much on the Raw brand, and this is apparently the reason why. Following the recent reports that Summer Rae might be injured, and according to Pro Wrestling Sheet is reporting that she is in fact dealing with multiple injuries. Speculation about her status started after Summer Rae posted a photo on Snapchat that showed her wearing a neck traction device. And Pro Wrestling Sheet says Summer is dealing with neck, back, and elbow issues. It was said that Summer has been in pain for months, but continued to wrestle until MRI results confirm the severity of her injuries. Summer is scheduled to visit with her doctors again next month. So now it makes sense. We were wondering, why aren't they doing much with Summer Rae? I think she's good talent. I saw that on Twitter and, give Summer a chance and all those hashtags. And I'm like, well, now we see why. I just, multiple injuries. That's not good. Hopefully she rests up, heals up. And I think she could be, used well on the Raw brand, especially with the lack of depth on Raw. And we'll see, how long she's going to be out for. Like it says, she has to get the MRI results. Your thoughts on Summer Rae being banged up with these injuries?
This is just, I don't know what's going on with this injury bug in WWE, but
Sure.
I wish her, a speedy recovery for whatever, is going on with her. I do think she can be very valuable to the Raw brand.
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing they have is time. You have time. You don't have to just have Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley title. You can do that. But then you can have these sub, rivalries, kind of like Nikki Bella and Carmella on SmackDown. They're not going for the title. They have their own separate, beef
animosity.
Yep.
A grudge.
You could do that with Summer Rae. You could do that with Paige. If you're not going to have them incorporated with the title, you can have them doing their own separate thing. Maybe there's a reason why they're fighting. Carmella wants to be the top gal on SmackDown, so she's going to go after who she perceives to be the top gal at the time, Nikki Bella. Have somebody like that who maybe doesn't get enough shine, like an Alicia Fox or somebody, go after somebody who's on top or something, who's not involved with the title at the time. And I think she can be very valuable. She had a great match with, I think it's Paige in NXT before. That could be wrong person, but I believe it was Paige in NXT. They had a hell of a match. She can wrestle, she can go, but she's just been used like she's just a jobber.
Yeah. Like I said, they really haven't done much with her in a long, long time. Well, probably since that awful Rusev feud.
The Ruru gimmick.
That never happened. That was just a long, extended dream. Then I finally woke up from it and was like, that was a nightmare from hell.
Yeah.
So we're going to forget that ever happened. So she deserves better. But let's hope that she just rests up, heals up, and, they come back and do something with her. That's all. Just give her a chance, How you going to know if you never give her a chance?
Get better, Summer. We hope you get better.
Yes, indeed. So let's move on to our next item of discussion here. And this relates to what we were talking about earlier when we talked about TNA. I found this report very interesting. WWE reportedly interested in signing top TNA star. According to the Wrestling Observer, WWE is reportedly interested in signing top TNA star Matt Hardy. And the report notes Triple H has already sent out feelers to the former WWE star via Hardy's intermediaries. The report added, however, that Matt Hardy has creative control, as you said earlier, of his character in TNA and is doing well for himself as he sets his own schedule on the independent scene. The report also points out WWE's killer schedule and how the rigors of the schedule are definitely something a lot of veteran talents might shy away from if offered a WWE return deal. It also was noted, however, that TNA status is always a concern, and if something happens to TNA, Hardy would need television to continue pursuing his current character, for which Hardy reportedly has a lot of ideas. This is very interesting. I haven't really seen too much of Matt Hardy's broken Matt stuff, but I know it's really caught fire, and I'm happy for him, how he's really been able to reinvent himself and do something different outside the bubble. I feel like we need more of that in the pro wrestling industry, and I would certainly like to see both him and Jeff back in WWE. I feel you could put one on one brand, one on the other brand, and that would add instant star power. I would like to see maybe, what do you think about if Matt Hardy would come back? What do you think of Broken Matt versus Bray Wyatt?
See?
I hear there's interest there.
Brother Meek Mahan, I knew you'd come. And let me cut you off there, because there is no Jeff Hardy. There is only the nefarious Brother Nero. Yes, man, this would be great if they let this man come back and have complete character control. He has built this character himself. Bring Jeff over. It'll be great. Bring Rebby, bring Senior Benjamin, bring King Maxwell, bring them all. God, this is just so excellent. I don't know how he did this, how he pulled this off, man. Let him have his own schedule. You can have Brock have his own schedule.
Sure.
Let him do that. Sign him to a deal. He can do his whole creative thing. That will bring ratings.
Yeah, it would.
You can let him do the whole Hardy compound thing. Imagine them versus the Wyatts, which is what they tried to do with the New Day.
I enjoyed that.
That'll be great. We enjoyed it. Oh my God. If they're really interested in signing him and they let him have freedom, just do it. Pull the trigger.
There's a lot of good feuds that he could have, like I said. But it's if the right deal would be in place, I could see it happening. But I know he left on bad terms, so I don't know how he would feel about coming back, and considering he's having so much success in TNA. I don't know. We'd have to see. That's just how I feel about it.
I'm sorry. I just got really, really excited. That's why I had to transition to the broken Matt Hardy voice gimmick.
That's okay.
It just really excites me that I could possibly see this happen if they let him be him. If they're not going to let him be him, don't bring him back.
No, that just wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't. It would kill it. It would kill all his momentum that he's built up over the past, year? Is that long?
Year and a half, almost.
Yeah. All the segments they've done, Vanguard 1, all of it. It's just great. This man has repackaged himself to the highest degree. Even Jeff's repackaged right now. He's broken Brother Nero now.
I'm just happy for him. It's great to see somebody is able, like I said, to reinvigorate and have really the second run of his career, kind of like how Jericho's doing in his current run. I mean, they're just taking off and just killing it.
Oh, I could see them feuding.
Oh man,
I think that light bulb just went off, didn't it?
Drink it in, man.
I'm gonna give you the gift of Jericho, man.
The list of Jericho. Oh my god. And then you said the myth of Jericho. I mean, you could just have so much fun with that. Oh my god.
Oh, that would be great. Oh my god. That
would be entertainment at its finest.
And there go your ratings right there. People love what Broken Matt has done right now. You bring that over to Raw along with everything else.
Sure.
Dude, him and Finn Balor. Finn Balor is the demon.
All right, I think Raw maybe would be the better fit for Matt, and then you could put Jeff on SmackDown because he was having great success with CM Punk and that amazing feud in 2009. Oh man, Jeff was like the man on SmackDown. So okay, I like that idea. Jeff to SmackDown, Matt to Raw. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, Matt finally is done with his obsolete mule and lets him go off on his own finally. And then maybe he can feud with like AJ Styles. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Jeff Hardy versus John Cena.
John Cena.
Dean Ambrose.
Randy Orton again.
Wow. Okay. I like that a lot.
Yeah, this is great, man. I'd
love to see the Hardys back. I miss them. I was a huge Jeff fan, and like I said, I wasn't the biggest Matt fan, but I can clearly get behind what he's doing now because this is different. I'm always for something different in the pro wrestling industry.
Yeah, it was always about Jeff in the beginning, and now it's about Matt. Matt has positioned himself as the top guy in the whole Hardy tag team, and I love it.
Good for him. He deserves it. He certainly does.
Yeah, he does.
So, anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, that'll be all from me.
So let's get into some more interesting news, speculation about another pro wrestler. And this is backstage news on whether or not WWE might be in Ricochet's immediate future. And according to, once again, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, In a recent tweet issued by Ricochet, the Lucha Underground star known as Prince Puma in the promotion might not be headed to WWE anytime soon, despite some recent speculation. Ricochet was recently on Stone Cold Show, which you can, and during the appearance, Ricochet noted that while one of his goals is to sign with WWE, at some point, his immediate goal is to win the New Japan IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Ricochet added that while ending up in WWE or NXT is something he wants to do, he has short-term goals set for himself, which include Lucha and New Japan. I like Ricochet. From the brief time that I watched Lucha Underground, he just had this certain, presence about him. He was a great wrestler. I dig the Prince Puma character, and I could definitely see him succeeding, definitely in NXT. But if he wants to go to New Japan, I have no problem with that. I know eventually in the long run he will end up in WWE, and that will be a great day when that happens. But I, for one, see him staying around in Lucha, and then eventually going to New Japan, and then coming to WWE. What are your thoughts on this?
I completely agree with him. Wanting to go to New Japan first before actually signing with WWE, because, he's a very big star on the indies. And, of course, going to New Japan could only further his notoriety. Fans all around the world can watch him now because a lot of people from around the world watch New Japan. So, build yourself up a lot more and get yourself more notoriety in New Japan could definitely help, especially winning the title. So I would have no problem with that at all. I definitely would love to see him in WWE one day, but until that day happens, go after your goals, man.
Exactly. Do what you want to do. Live your dreams, and if anybody says you can't, screw the haters. You know what? Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody sell you short. So I'm happy for him. I really am. All right, now, so let's move into some Cruiserweight news. Apparently, WWE has officially signed the Cruiserweight Classic competitor Lince Dorado, and Dorado will be working the Raw Cruiserweight Division matches and some live events. So this is good news. I was a fan of his work in the Cruiserweight Classic, and maybe we'll see him tonight on Raw. Like I said, we'll have to see, but hey, that's good news. Another addition to the Cruiserweight Division. So yeah, that's your thoughts?
I don't think I've ever heard of him before, but hey, adding new cruiserweights, adding a different element to Raw is definitely okay with me. I'm definitely on board for that. I'm pretty sure he's a great talent if they signed him.
Yes.
And that can only further the cruiserweight division, which is already pretty good in my opinion. So
sure,
we'll see where this goes from here. And Raw needs something.
Yeah, they do. Just let the cruiserweights go out there and be themselves. Don't tone them down, which is what I'm worried that's going to happen. If you're going to tone them down, why do the division in the first place?
Yeah. What would be the point?
Exactly. But it's WWE, so they do stuff like that a lot. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, final news item here, folks, before we get into our Raw preview for tonight. Here's an interesting note. UFC fighter defeated by Mickey Gall says he wants to be CM Punk's next opponent. UFC fighter Mike Jackson, who has a UFC and MMA record of 0 wins and 1 loss, similar to CM Punk, with his loss suffered at the hands of Mickey Gall, recently told MMA Junkie he wants to be CM Punk's second opponent in UFC. Below are some quotes from Jackson on wanting to face the also 0-1 Punk. On wanting to face CM Punk, this is what he said. I've gotten wind that Punk wants to get another fight, and it only makes sense on a bout with CM Punk being good for business. It's all about making money. I am a businessman, so I understand the logistics of all this. As a fight fan, I remember when I heard about Punk fighting in MMA, I was like, no one wants to see that, but people are going to tune in for the spectacle of it, on what he and Punk have in common. This is what he said. The experience is the same. We both have a loss to Mickey Gall. You can't go in there and fight dudes with a lot of experience, as opposed to bringing in someone else with very limited MMA experience. It only makes sense to both put us in there. Let's start, Gene, with your thoughts first. What do you think about this? Interested? You see it happening?
I could see it possibly happening
on UFC, on a paper. I don't see that happening because
maybe not on the main pay-per-view, especially after the way it went down against Mickey Gall.
Yeah, that was.
I can't see that happening anytime soon.
I mean, Mickey Gall is an ass kid. I've become a fan of his, obviously, since he just beat the piss out of CM Punk. And I love Punk. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm a kayfabe it though. Let CM Punk put this guy over. Just lovely work from CM Punk there, letting this guy, this young buck, get put over. And
he made a name. So good. No, you're right. Good for Mickey.
Yeah, good for him. It can only help him out a whole lot more. And this guy that's trying to fight Punk, he wants a paycheck. I can tell. He saw the big fight, the spectacle that is CM Punk. How many people tuned in? How many people were interested? It brought people over from the pro wrestling side of things because, they love CM Punk. So, of course, they want to see him fight. So it doesn't really matter who he's in there with. CM Punk's fighting. Let's turn it on. So maybe this guy can use that to elevate himself the same way Mickey Gall was elevated when CM Punk put him over.
Good. Are the buy rates released yet? I'm curious to see how UFC 203 did. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Good. Oh, it was actually here too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Cleveland. In the same arena he walked out on.
Yep.
So
ironic.
We'll see. Yeah, ironically enough. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, based on Dana White's comments, I don't see it taking place on pay-per-view. But you never know. I mean, I think this would be a better matchup. It just makes sense. As I said, he needed to go through the amateur ranks before he should have, done that and then fight on the pay-per-view. You just go out there, 38. What is he? 38 now. The 12 to 13 concussions. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done it because, that's him and his life, and I fully support, what he did. That's what he wanted to do. So don't let me tell him what not to do. But I just was worried what was going to happen, and, I kind of
he dove in knee first, and it kind of backfired.
When he got off his feet, I knew that was it. I'm like, there's no way. I mean, he just got blasted.
That single leg takedown. WWE has been taking shots at him too. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
With the Dolphin Miz matches?
You knew they would. Come on. But remember what Triple H said on the podcast? I don't have beef with him. No, we were cool, It's not like
a thing. I don't have beef with
Phil. It's funny.
You
could tell he was trying to think, oh, crap, I got to address this. Oh, I got to sound like I actually care about this guy. Yes, he did.
He was wonderful for us. I don't have any beef with him. I wish him the best in all of his future endeavors.
And then Austin's like, would you like to see him come back? And Triple H is like, yeah, this guy came back. That guy came back,
Here's the deal. The game doesn't care who comes back. They'll all get the shovel.
And Stephanie can slap the hell out of him. That's what they did. They bring CM Punk back, and then Stephanie would just come out, slap the holy hell out of him.
Right. Oh, man.
God. Yeah, I don't see him ever coming back.
I
love you, Punk. Especially with Triple H and Stephanie taking over. No.
I can see Hulk Hogan and Del Rio coming back before CM Punk.
Sure. Hell would have to freeze over. Ugh, man.
You would have to hit the bottom of bottoms to go back there.
Hey, it would get – you want Raw ratings? Oh, my God.
Wow. Hey, it'd be a good business move.
Could you imagine? I would just love to hear the reaction.
I would jump out my window if CM Punk walked back out that stage.
Man, there's so many potential feuds. It just makes me want to see him come back. I don't want to go off on it, but it's just like there's so much potential now with all the new talent, and it's like, man, Balor versus Punk, Joe versus Punk, Styles versus Punk, Seth
Roman,
Roman versus Punk, Ambrose versus Punk.
I'm getting excited.
Kevin Owens versus Punk.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry,
Sami Zayn versus Punk. Oh my God!
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this.
Oh,
yep. I mean, the list is just if he wanted to. I mean, I wonder if he could get that WrestleMania main event that he so desperately wanted.
That would be his only way he would come back for sure. That would have to be in the contract. I need a WrestleMania main event.
I want it. And, oh, man, Nakamura versus Punk.
Ooh, wow. That was the main event of Mania.
There you go. Or you could do Cena versus, I felt that should have been the main event at 29.
Their rivalry was incredible.
Amazing.
One of Cena's top 3 opponents ever.
I think that could main event a WrestleMania. It still could, I feel.
Agree.
Cena versus Punk one more time in the main event of WrestleMania.
Man.
Maybe for
crazy.
Somehow the title gets vacant. Somehow, I don't know. And
I know how they could do it too. Oh my God.
Somehow you get that. I mean, I love AJ as champ, but you want to have it in will Punk win the title, or will Cena be 16 time? I mean, it would just.
Or you have Cena win the 16-time world champion.
Okay.
16-time, he wins it. Okay, I'm just going real quick. I'm sorry.
This is fun. I like stuff like this. God.
He wins the championship, 16-time world champion. Yes, I've got it. I tied the record. Or, yeah, he's tying the record. I tied the record. I've done it. Yes, cemented my legacy. Okay, whoever's in the Royal Rumble, it don't matter. I'm beating them all. Main event WrestleMania. Let's do it. CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
So, John, you're a 16-time world champion, huh? You forgot all about me, huh? The person who put you on your ass every single time. Let's do it one more time. I'm choosing you, WrestleMania main event.
Wow.
It did all the build for that.
Stuff of legendary proportion. Wow.
Oh my God. I'm sorry I just went off like that.
It won't happen, but hey, we can fantasize and dream about it. So miss you, Punk.
Yeah.
But I just don't ever see it happening. But hey, you never say anything can happen in life. So
yeah. Never thought I would see AJ Styles in the WWE.
Exactly. Never thought we'd see The Rock return, on that Raw. We never thought this would happen. That way, it's just like, wow. So,
right. Never thought I would hear John Cena's basic thugonomic music play again in
Sure.
2012 when I was there.
Sure. Anything can always happen in wrestling. So never say never, folks. All right. Let's segue and transition into the final segment of this report. This is our Raw preview for tonight. As you all know, Raw is emanating live from Cincinnati, Ohio. And there will be fallout from Clash of Champions. Like I said, the problem with Clash last night was the ending. I wanted them to do a big hook. To me, there was no hook, for tonight. I wanted a big hook to get us to want to tune in to Raw tonight. And I'm just going to tune in out of habit. If it sucks, I'm going to tune it off. So tune it out. But looking at the preview here, just reading over some stuff here. Apparently, I don't know why they didn't show this on the pay-per-view. After the pay-per-view, cameras showed Stephanie leaving the arena, went into a limo with Triple H, who was eager to discuss how Raw's first exclusive pay-per-view went. So that's interesting. I was just baffled as to why this was shown on the website, and maybe that should have been the closing shot,
Yeah. I think they did a shot of Seth at the end, too, when the crowd chanted for him. And
that was good. So maybe we'll finally – and it says Rollins must be more – so that's what it says in the preview. Also here, it talks about Sheamus and Cesaro. It says, does this series end in a draw or will it extend to an 8th match? We'll find out how the hardcore legend Mick Foley goes about that tonight. So maybe we'll see an 8th match and that'll, lead to the winner or no contest. Maybe we have a multi-man Hell in a Cell match. There's interest, You could do that's what I heard people were throwing out. Cesaro, Sheamus, Rollins, Owens, and you could do maybe a fatal 4-way or throw Roman and Rusev in there and then, like a 6-man from back in the day.
Yeah, just don't redo the whole card from Clash of Champions at Hell in a Cell. Don't do that.
Do something different.
Switch it up. Yeah,
exactly.
Do something different. Yep, I agree.
It looks like we're also going to get follow-up. Brian Kendrick, after the Clash Championship match, attacked TJ Perkins. He headbutted him in the head, and it says in a post-match interview, Perkins made it clear that he has unfinished business with the so-called Wizard of Oz. He just might have that opportunity for retribution when Monday night's show rolls in Cleveland or Cincinnati. Sorry.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see, another match between Kendrick and Perkins. I'd like to see them have another match and just have them go all out there, balls to the walls, because I was somewhat disappointed with their match. Thought it would be better than it turned out to be. So I'd be all for another match between these two. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would definitely like another match. Like they kind of, it seemed like they were a little bit nervous, even though Brian Kendrick's done this and TJ's done this all around the world. They seemed like they were a little hesitant to do things because, there was this one time where TJ was supposed to, I think he was supposed to do like a backdrop or something, and he like missed his neck or something. They were kind of a little too tense there. They didn't, and maybe they're toning it down a little bit. I heard a report off of the Lexman's channel actually, or his Twitter, that maybe they were tuning down the cruiserweight matches. But let these guys go, man. That's the point of the cruiserweight division. They're not supposed to be the same as everybody else. They're under a certain weight, and they can do certain things. Let them do it.
Yes, they can, and we'll see. Like I said, Raw could be interesting tonight. I mean, based on what I'm reading here, there's some interest. It could be a good show if they go about it the right way. And continuing here with the preview from WWE.com, it talks about Roman Reigns. He won the U.S. Championship, and it says, will Reigns need to handle a vengeance-seeking super athlete, or will a new challenger emerge with their sights set on Old Glory? So perhaps we see Rusev versus Reigns again, or, like I said here, maybe somebody else could step up to the challenge plate.
I hope it's somebody else. I loved Rusev as United States champion, and I kind of like Reigns as United States. It was, like I said in my review, it was bittersweet for me because I like them both. So it was okay. Kind of mad that Rusev lost, but happy Roman won. I don't know, maybe somebody different. I'm tired of it fighting. They've been fighting since August over nothing. I don't know what the story is still.
It's that god-awful wedding segment, remember?
But why did Roman come out? He had no reason to. He just walked out there.
That was dumb.
Rusev didn't antagonize him. Like, it was weird.
I know. It didn't make any sense. So that's another... just forget that ever happened.
Let my boy Ruru shine.
Sure. Well, here's an idea. Okay, he loses the U.S. title. He should be like, okay, I'm coming after the Universal title now.
Ooh. I'm still the main event. I'm still the top guy. Roman wants that title. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
It's all his
now. It's all his.
Go after the main title. It's simple. Just to me, that would make sense from, Rusev's perspective. I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
Continuing on with the preview here, talks about the New Day retaining, and it says, now that the New Day has decisively turned back Gallows and Anderson, the future looks bright for our eternally optimistic Team Red trio. You won't want to miss what the New Day has in store tonight. So we'll see, because their championship reign is now over 400 days. Didn't you mention you could see the club winning tonight? Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. Based on what it says here, I don't know.
It's weird, though, because I think the club are going to come out. Oh, you had to use Xavier again. This and that. But it was kind of a weird finish for me. That was I know.
I wanted the club to win.
They came out in a ball of fire. What's next for them now? Like, you had, like, your best start to a match you could possibly have, and then you drop it. So what do you do now?
Put them on NXT.
I think that's where they should have started to begin with.
Yeah, if this is how they were going to be booked, I mean, if there's nothing for them on the main, seriously, put them on NXT. They could kill, like I said, I'm not even joking about that. Like, seriously. Or put them on SmackDown. I don't know. Get them off Raw if you're just going to treat them like shit.
Right.
So we'll see. And finally, the last bullet point here talks about Charlotte successfully defending her Raw Women's title. It says she has silenced her critics, and with Dana Brooke by her side, has extended her reign as Raw's Queen Bee. It says, will somebody new step up to challenge Charlotte? I don't think so. Like I said, I think it's going to be Sasha and Charlotte. And you know my scenario for Hell in a Cell, as I reiterated earlier.
Yeah. I think they need to bring back some more people, or bring more women in and have them involved. If you're not going to do anything with them on the side, put somebody in there. Dang it. Paige is cleared. Emma's cleared. Like, come on, do something. You got to do something.
And, okay, so that's Raw tonight. We'll see. Like I said, if they want to, if they have the right creative, it could be a good show. I would like to see an A or B episode from Raw to get me to continue to want to tune into Raw. Because if it's a C show or D show, I'm done. And I can't take another mediocre episode. I got work tomorrow. I could go to bed and get enough sleep. I don't have to waste my time.
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, like, just from the YouTube standpoint of it, we're both building our channels up. It's very hard to do that when people already don't want to watch Raw. So why would they want to come watch us talk about it unless we're ranting on it? So it's kind of hard.
I don't like to just rant. I just hate doing that. I like to be positive, but it's just tough at this point. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. And like I said, let's real quick talk SmackDown. There's no official preview for tomorrow, but as you all know, you will be there in attendance, and you will get to see AJ Styles defending his world championship against Dean Ambrose. Ambrose, this will be their third match ever against one another. It says in the brief preview here, who will prevail, and how will this impact the triple threat match for the championship between Styles, Ambrose, and Cena? I don't see AJ losing, but I think it's going to be a really another good match between these two guys.
I'm just excited I get to see AJ Styles perform in person because that's something I've never seen.
That's great.
And he's the champion of SmackDown.
Wow.
And it's my first SmackDown. This is going to be great. And I have like floor seats somewhere.
Wow.
I think I'm going to be near the commentary table. I'm not front row, but I'm somewhere in that area. So just the fact that I'm there and I get to see AJ is fine. I don't care if I was in the nosebleeds. I love wrestling to the point where as long as I'm there, it doesn't matter where I sit.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah, the experience is great. And I already love SmackDown from my position at home. So being there, seeing the lights and hearing the music and stuff, being interactive with the crowd, being the crowd is just going to be great for me. And I can't wait to see that match.
I think it'll be a good show tomorrow. I think you're in store for another good episode of SmackDown. Like I said, they've been killing it, and kicking 7-2 against Raw, in my opinion. Yep. Raw's only beat them twice, so the odds say that SmackDown should beat Raw this week. So we'll see. I'm hyped for it tomorrow. Tuesday night is the night. So we will see what happens, folks. And that's it, folks. That is the third installment of the Giza Wrestling Report. I want to say thank you, Gene, for joining me on this edition. It was great to have you on. We had a great conversation. And, of course, you can get a plug in for your channel.
Thank you for having me again, man. I don't know. This chemistry between me and you, man. We're just clicking on some good topics and stuff. Thank you for having me on. Guys, if you want to check me out, I'm over on the BSP Wrestling Show on YouTube. I do just about the same thing Daniel does over here. Probably not as well as he does it, but I definitely do it.
No, you're very good. Very good.
So I definitely want to thank you for having me on. And, this is just incredible. I love this. This is great. Like you said, this is what the IWC is all about, having people on, talking wrestling, and just building more friendships. So I love it.
It's great. I'm glad when I came up with this idea, I'm like, I need to do a news show. And then when Deluxman was taking bookings, I was like, I got to have him on for the first episode. And like, what a better way to kick it off than Robbie, my good friend Robbie One Kenobi was on last week. And now you, and it's just like, I love it. I love having these guests on and just great stuff. So I want to thank you to everybody who joined me for these past couple episodes. Thank you for watching in the live stream as well. I appreciate that. And so that is it, folks. Like I said, thank you all for tuning in. I might do a live, if Raw's good tonight, I'll do a live Raw review. If it's not, you won't see live Raw reviews from me for at least probably till January.
Don't hold your breath, man.
So I'm not. So yeah. We'll see what happens, but thank you all for tuning in and listening to this podcast. And remember to please click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. And I will definitely see you guys tomorrow night for my live review of SmackDown. So that'll definitely be good stuff. So until then, guys, thanks for watching and have a good rest of the day. See ya.